Hi, everyone. I'm Adam Splensky, and I'm here to talk a little bit about some of the content that is in the deck for the UX Research Group conversation. The teams have been working quite a bit around research. So this deck captures a lot of the research that we conducted since the last time we met. It also has a lot of the research that we're currently working on looking forward. So there's a lot there. Just to talk a little bit about some of the findings that we were able to wrap up since the last time we met. One is around the system usability scale score. So for Q3, unfortunately, we did drop down about 0.8 points to a score of 67.5. We look closely at the themes that a lot of these respondents leave to help qualify the why in back of their score. And some of the major themes this time around were things like complexity, learnability, which I'll talk about a little later, navigation / discoverability. As a result of this, we are working on 3 KRs that mostly focus on the infrastructure on how we deal with a lot of the SUS data. So it's easily accessible, it's a bit more transparent, and we're able to look into ways to try to find some more insights also. We also wrapped up Q3 SaaS paid Net Promoter Score, and that is a score of 31. So that is an increase from the last 2 quarters. Also, we did what I call now our annual DocSite survey, where the last time we did this was last year. And we did it again this year too, where we launched a fairly large survey to our DocSite users to really understand some of their behaviors around the DocSite, how they feel about certain things too. And a big one, or I'm sorry, a big insight is that users, they do continue to struggle with finding what they're looking for within the DocSite. It's not that easy for them. But there is some really good news, and it is that the DocSite provides like a great source of information when users can find it. So they are able to go in, solve some problems, find what they're looking for when they find it, and move on. So that part was actually really good to see. A big piece of research is actually 2 in here on this slide, is around learnability. So there were actually 2 efforts here. One was to really focus on how new users learn GitLab, and it was done in a longitudinal study, which means that we follow them along for 60 days on their learning journey to see exactly what resources they were using to try to learn. And they also rated the effectiveness of those things. So that was one study. Another study was a set of interviews conducted with people who have been using GitLab, I believe, for less than a year or so. And they're looking back, recounting how they learned. So we took 2 separate approaches there. The results were incredibly interesting. So first, we learned that users learn in multiple ways. It's not just reading, it's not just watching videos. There's a variety of things that new GitLab users need to leverage in order to learn. Some people benefit more from reading, some people benefit more from watching videos. There's also certain types of media work better for what they're trying to learn too. A second major finding was that these users, they have to find those resources themselves. I don't think anybody was just given a list of links and said, here, learn from these. So they had to learn, they started with Google typically, and that experience is time consuming and it's not so easy because a lot of times they don't even know what they're searching for if they're so new. And lastly, a big finding was that learning GitLab, it takes more time than planned. And then when I looked into this a little more, the main reason is that their day-to-day jobs get in the way. They'd like to learn more, but for the reasons I just mentioned earlier, it takes a little bit more time than expected. So a larger time investment that they just don't have. So as a result, there's lots of things that we can possibly do here to help them. And we're going to start to think about that looking ahead for Q1 in the form of KRs. So those are just a light sampling of some of the projects we wrapped up. There's a lot of other ones that we're looking ahead on as well. Those are in this deck. So I want to encourage everybody to have a look and hopefully see everyone at the group conversation. Thank you.